back, everyone, to Let's Play Rocket League with me, BrainBoy. 20 where we last left off. We had some fun with some more online matches, and we're going to continue, but I think I want to try the Chaos style of play. Or at least I'll have both. I'll have both selected. If we get Chaos, we get Chaos. If we get Standard, we get Standard. Without further ado, let's get going. I'm starting to get better at the whole flying thing, but I need some more practice to get the perfect time to actually lift off. As we can tell by my previous episodes, failings, just not flying early enough. And we're doing a Chaos match. And we'll have to see who's on our team and who's on theirs. I'm pretty certain that there's going to be a dedicated goalie somewhere. Okay, we're all ready. Who's on whose team? Oh well, no time to figure that out now. Gotta get the first touch. And I managed to get the first touch and the solid hit, sending it onto their side of the pitch. I have no idea. Let's use this time to see if we can figure out who's on whose team. So I've got Andrew Snyder, Jar Jar Hussar, and the Dashi of Dayton. And I missed the shot because I'm too busy looking at the score screen. On their team they have Brian Cricket, DLR on Run, and Nex. And unfortunately, due to me looking at the score screen, I provided absolutely no assistance in defense, and they managed to score as a result. Although Cricket manages to get a very lucky shot, with the ball bouncing in just the perfect way to bounce over my teammates, preventing a good defense. I don't know why I even attempted to go there. I wasn't on the side path. I'm thinking in 4v4, it's basically guaranteed someone will be on the side path. And I managed to get an air shot on the goal, and managed to score in spite of all that. So let's see, Cricket tries to bounce it away from the goal, but instead perfectly sets up a shot where I'm able to bounce into the air, and take a shot in the goal, which should not have happened. I think that should have bounced off the side wall, but well. You shouldn't look at gift horse on that. I'm going to grab a small boost, and then I'm just going to set up to defend. And unfortunately, I can't jump high enough, and I didn't fly because I didn't anticipate a shot like that. So we set it up high into the air, and Cricket manages to slam the ball directly in the upper portion of the net, which I couldn't stop, unless I was anticipating it well beforehand. We managed to get the solid hit, but so did they, sending it into the center of the pitch. My teammate managed to blast me towards our side, but in the opposite direction, so I was in no position to try to intercept the ball in case they made a shot. Dashi of Dayton sending it onto their side of the pitch, and maybe a good shot. Unfortunately, I could not lift off or react fast enough to get it past Brian and Cricket, who are guarding the ball. We sent it well over my head and set up a good shot on our own goal. Narix mixes his shot. I'm going to keep changing his name because I don't know how to pronounce it. Cricket and I are bumper to bumper, and I get sandwiched, flipping me end over end. But the ball is in no position to be scored upon because none of their team is nearby. Now I can figure out what that strange Indian-sounding music, or sitar, that's the instrument for thrust is going on. Someone manages to knock me well into their side of the goal. I don't know how they did that. I block the shot that they had set up for our goal and send it into the corner, causing us to have once again another small melee. And I managed to knock my teammate away, preventing him from having any chance to score because I have absolutely no situational awareness. I know that's not the term for it. Side sight? That is not the correct term either. I don't remember. Narix blows up Andrew Snyder. Their own team sends it towards their goal. I have no idea why. It's a perfect shot, and I mess it up by being slightly off-center, pushing it into the side corner once again. But Dashi of Dayton sets up a good shot, only for us to be knocked away by our own teammate. But Jar Jar almost scores, but is slightly offside. I managed to block the ball once again and almost get a good shot, but Cricket manages to intercept it, and we're back to square one. Dashi of Dayton manages to knock the ball off course, and I manage to send it once more towards a position where it can be scored on. Brian managed to block it, but due to me looking at the scoreboard again, trying to remember whose name is whose, they managed to set it once again towards our side. So it looks like this is going to be an shot. Wait a minute, they scored twice on us? So they scored twice on them. Oh well. It matters not. I couldn't determine which way the ball was going to head, so unfortunately I was not able to block it, but thankfully my teammates set that up. Dashi of Dayton manages to score. Almost uncontested. What the heck was happening with their team there? Yeah, Dashi of Dayton effectively just coasts the ball in. And Brian has left the match, being replaced by Armstrong. And while I do get the solid hit off, they get the solid hit, so do I, setting it into a small furious melee. They set up a near perfect shot on our own goal, whoever did that, thank you. But we managed to get it away. Armstrong, being the idiot AI, manages to fail in trying to intercept the shot. I juggle it straight into the air and fail miserably, because it goes well over the net. And I miss my attempt to block it from the side. And I managed to send it once again towards the middle, setting it up so either team could attempt to score if anyone was in position. Unfortunately, no one is. And I can't block the side shot. Cricket might score, but he misses, and Jar Jar manages to get it away from any position to score upon, only for it to go rapidly towards it, and they miss once again. I'm being knocked all over the side. I'm being smashed on the side by both Cricket and whoever the heck the other guy is, and miss my shot because I decided to take a momentary glance at the scoreboard once again. Which almost costs us a point because Knocknex almost scores on us once more. I didn't even realize it was all tied up until just now. I really need to stop looking at the scoreboard and actually memorize what players are here. Armstrong managed to set up a good shot, but I was able to clear the ball away from the goal. And I don't know how to fly sideways. I don't know why I tried. I only just wasted boost, which I could use. Effort to get a good shot here. Unfortunately, I missed, so I'm going to actually kill Cricket. They set up a teammate, so he's actually in a position to boost towards the ball. I'm trying way too hard to destroy them, and they managed to score as a result of this. Dealer-o. I didn't even recognize you. Like, you're in this game? I haven't seen you once. Except for the times you smashed into my side, and I just completely neglected to mention that fact. Going in from the side, I'm going to try to go in for this. Well, you know this is standard procedure now. We managed to get first touch and the solid hit with all of us interacting. Cricket managed to block my shot and send it high into the air. But they're not in any position to capitalize this. My teammate is, but he can't manage to get a good shot off. Andrew managed to block any attempt to score an extra goal on us, but it looks like we're pretty much going to lose this. We keep running into each other, preventing anyone from scoring, and that is game. We get the Mountaineer tires. I don't feel like equipping them. I managed to get the one goal, shot, and the most score, but that doesn't matter because Cricket, the MVP of their team, does twice the work that I have. And so we'll exit. And we'll look for another match. Let's see what happens here. I'm not as under the weather as I was beforehand. It's still a little present, so if you hear some sniffles here and there, that's kind of the case. Beforehand, it was just kind of a stomach ache and a problem with the throat. Now it's migrated to my nose, and it's as annoying as it sounds. Alright, we're in a regular standard match. And I'm coming in from the side. I don't know who's on my team. I don't know who's on theirs. We'll figure that out as soon as the first score happens. Hayek is on their side. Or Hayeksha is on their side. I'm not sure if Gailey and Hayek is a part of their team, and they really should let me see who's being placed on whose team when we first begin these matches. I'm going to force Balkan. And for my brief glance, nothing happens. I managed to get the first solid hit and touch. Unfortunately, my angle was a little bit off, but I think that was to my benefit, as I managed to get the ball away from anyone in particular. I knock my teammate away, Bruno RSS, and he and Viper are trying to maintain control over the ball. I get it away from any position for them to try to take it away from us. Unfortunately, I set up a near perfect shot on our own goal. Unfortunately, they have terrible aim and can't capitalize on this fact, so I bounce it away. Viper managed to score off my attempt to protect it, showing that my protection was nothing but a farce. So who's on whose team? Viper, Hayek, and Galen Hayek are on one side. Bruno RSS and Squaz 10 were on the other. You know, Viper being an AI, so someone couldn't connect. And while I get first touch, my shot doesn't connect, and my two teammates seem like they've gone AFK, meaning it's a 1v3, so this is going to be a fun match. And I can do all the defenses in the world, but that doesn't matter because my team is not doing anything, so I might just leave. But maybe their own stupidity might let me win. I managed to block the one shot they had, and maybe I can coast the ball into the goal. And I've got two AIs now because their AFK-ness has caused us... Well, they could disconnect it after a bit, so I've got Swabby and Junker. Hopefully these guys are much better than the AFK teammates and don't actively score on our own goal. We managed to get the ball away from their control for a brief moment with Viper with the defense there. And I attempt a shot on the goal according to the game. Junker manages to get my shot and actually make it into a goal. Me coming in with a side bounce, sending it straight into the middle, Junker jumping up into the air, knocking the ball into the goal in spite of Viper's glorious defense. Let's see if we can speed boost and get the ball. First shot, we managed to get the solid hit due to the efforts of Junker and I, but Viper managed to set the ball away. However, Junker managed to block their shot, and Viper sends the ball careening back towards their side of the field. Hayek attempts to set the ball away, but Junker sending it back, not letting them rest. Unfortunately, Junker gets killed by Hayek for his efforts, and with a small melee coming out with us as the losers. And unfortunately, since I couldn't anticipate where the ball actually was, no one's in any position to attempt to score. And so we've got a small melee with me sending it back towards our own goal to my own stupidity. And since I can't stop for any reason whatsoever, we only set the ball high into the air with no one in any position to attempt to score. With the small melee that occurs there, I don't even know what happened. Junker manages to get a shot on the ball, and Galen Hayek managed to score for Junker by getting a final touch. Junker hits the ball into the air, and it just gently rolls into the goal. Even though Galen tries not to score on his own team, he has no choice but to. I get first touch, solid hit off of my own work. Junker in a position to try to capitalize on this, and I managed to slow it down. Hayek trying to send it away, but both my teammates are in a perfect position to intercept and send it towards the center of the goal. Unfortunately, it does not stop there and goes off the side wall, and no one's in any position to capitalize. Swabby trying to make sure my shot does not send it towards our side of the field. Unfortunately, that does not happen. Viper blocking my attempts to send it back. And my attempts to block the ball fail miserably. They try to score on us, but it does not work. Junker going to the defense. Swabby sending it back towards the center. I bicycle hit it at the very tip of my car. Hayek attempting to guard against it. And since I can't fly, I fail a shot. My energy has died down a little bit. Junker is only trying to marginally send it back while I keep it in the air to prevent them from defending against it. Junker in almost a perfect position to block, but Viper with the save. Junker in a position to block, more like Junker in a position to shoot. Hayek attempts to block the shot and succeeds with a small bicycle hit. Junker, however, managed to capitalize on the ball's lack of momentum and manages to hit it towards their goal. However, no one's in a position to stop this, and Viper might actually get a shot off. No, correction, he will score as no one's on the defense. Commentating a match of AIs is fun, if you couldn't tell. And this match is all tied up once again. Now, I should be on the defense, but I get the feeling we all spawn at the same location. And I get first touch, but Viper gets the solid hit, sending it well towards our side of the field. But that doesn't matter because Junker managed to send it all the way back. Galen being AFK for who knows how long, and I attempt a shot on the goal, but I'm just slightly off center, preventing it from working. And Swabby picks up the pieces of these failed shots and manages to score. From goalie to score. From goalie to shooter? What's the technical position on soccer? I might have to look that up later. I mean, this game is basically rocket soccer, and I will sit back and defend because I am the furthest back. I don't know why I wasted any of my turbo trying to get to the ball first when I knew that was physically impossible. And my AI compatriot stomping. I'm going to try to get some boost, but I know how well this venture always works out. Boost, can you return at any point in time? Thank you. I think it takes like 10 seconds for boost to recharge. And Galen Heidig prevents my attempts to score, and they're just blocking shot after shot. We want to only increase our lead, but it might lead to our doom because I can't stop it. Heidig might just coast the ball in. Swabby and Junker with the perfect defense, though. And they send it back towards it, but Junker, having none of that, blocks it once more. Viper attempting to stop the momentum of the ball in order to score. And now it's only an attempt to score on theirs to further increase our lead and further laugh in the enemy team. And I was behind by 2 AFKs, so I'm happy about this. But the match is pretty much over. And we actually win once. We actually win for once, and I am happy. Junker getting the most scores and is the MVP of the whole match. And with that, I think I'll end this session here. Hope you've all enjoyed watching. This has been BrainBoy 20 with Let's Play Rocket League. If you enjoyed watching these videos, like, comment, or subscribe helps out a great deal. And I will see you all next time.